Hello, Cuvée crew, and welcome to your wind down. I'm excited to present to you today the Daniel Olivier Cabernet Franc with a little bit of Merlot. So a great red blend from the Bordeaux region. More specifically, one of my favorites, the Bergerac region of Bordeaux. And actually, if you're not familiar with that, it's basically within Saint Emilion, which is more of a wine. It's more of a historic wine growing region that people are more familiar with. But we're really narrowing down the Bergerac appellation for a reason. So let's get into this. The color for this particular wine, it's not opaque. It's definitely a little bit darker, and so I'm imagining we're gonna get some really bold notes, some dark fruit things just from the color in and of itself. And so I'm really excited to talk about this particular wine, first and foremost because of where it's from. So this wine in the Saint Emilion region really gets a lot of direct sunlight, and so what happens with that when you're in an area that is a wine growing region that has close proximity to a body of water and it's on a high elevation along with the sun, we're talking some great fruit expression because the fruit is getting the exact wine growing climate that we look for when we're wanting to enjoy an amazing wine. So why am I mentioning this? Because the sunlight this gets, as well as the elevation, is going to drain the soil a lot more, which makes our vines work even harder to integrate within the soil. And when our vines are working harder, we get more complexities from fruit. And that's what we love about Bordeaux. That's what we look for in a great wine. That's why Bordeaux is one of the wine capitals, if not the wine capital growing region of the entire world, because of what's going on within the environment, that we get some really great notes from our fruit. So let's get into it. We already talked about the color. Let's talk about what's on the nose. So we wake our wine up and then we go in deep. So it's not overly pronounced, but I do get a lot of great herbaceous notes on it, which I love in a wine. Especially, I look for that when I'm interested in a Bordeaux. When I'm interested in a Bordeaux, if I was wine tasting, I would immediately get some herbaceous notes and oak on there as well. Let's get into the flavor. Beautiful dark fruit themed wine. Reminiscent of some styles of California, but it's relatively dry. So it's dry on the back end, but it's soft on entry, and so you're not going to get a huge punch, which is a fan favorite of those that don't like overly dry tannic Bordeaux, but this does have a dry effect, but it does have some balance in it because of the richness of the fruit. So that plum is really apparent there. And so that's what puts me in the mindset of like a California cab, because of the richness of the plummy currants and things of that nature. But then it really drives home the Bordeaux with some of the firm tannin, the dryness, and again, it makes a great food wine. So this is majority Merlot with a little bit of Cabernet Franc on it. So it's like 70% Merlot with Cab Franc on it. So that's where that velvet, approachable flavors come from, where we're looking at that plum, or even some even call it like, it's like elderberry, but it's like considered damson in some of the, I guess, certain circles, but elderberry is fine. And so, but just think dark fruit themes like, again, plum, blackberries, black cherries, but definitely like an elderberry. So it's definitely going to have some vegetal, herbaceous, and round notes to make it really an enjoyable experience. Definitely a great wine to drink by itself, but we love a good food and wine pairing. So with this, you can go a little lighter. Again, when you're drinking your Merlot, you want to think lean meats, roasted vegetables, things like that. I wouldn't do too many fattier beefs and stuff like that, but I definitely would look at some like lean prime rib, some roasted turkey. I'm really excited for something like this for Thanksgiving, because if you have guests, This is an easygoing wine. It's not doing too much or too little. It's like right in the middle there. So again, firm tannins, but medium body on the palate. And so I really do hope that you enjoy this one. And as always, feel free to give me your feedback and let me know what you think about it in the comments. Until next time, cheers.